Hi folks. Well, I wasn't expecting this. Monica's Xterra is ahead of us with Jason from Huck Outdoors and David inside, and I'm riding with my new friend Wesley. They asked me which car I wanted to ride in, and I've never been in a Jeep like this. Oh, that was fun. We'll see some more on the way out. Jason and I have been talking about doing a trip out here for a long time, and he got this group together. There's Monica over there. Roxana couldn't make it on this trip, but she'll be in the next video, and we're about to check out the Live Oak Mine. And here we are at the mine. This is awesome. Wes pointed out this is an Army medic truck. This is probably a World War II surplus that they turned into a mining truck. We'll check out that rail and ore bin in a minute. And here's a cabin. Let's take a look at this. Looks like people have been adding some supports to try and hold it up. Over here, this one is completely falling apart. You can see there's a bathtub back there. 1990 journal. It's an old stove. There's a very old bulldozer. And over here is our ore bin. My guidebook has a little tiny black and white picture, and I've been waiting to see it in person for so long. Oh, this thing is fantastic. Look at David. He is nuts. But you can see there are a lot of new beams down there. It has been restored. Seems pretty strong. We spent a good while looking at this little setup. It's pretty interesting. But all this mine ever produced was a small amount of lead and a tiny amount of silver. And at one time the tracks led away over to here, and that mine is caved in. Caved in. A little bit uphill, what looks like a mine is actually a spring. There's a seep here, and by digging a tunnel, they get a little extra water out of it. Farther uphill, we have another actual mine. The opening is mostly blocked off, but you can tell it's a pretty large tunnel in there. Crazy rocks here, and every mountain is a different color. You might see that post that marks the edge of the mining claim up there. And I had planned to take the group up to some copper mines further up the mountain, but we took a wrong turn, and here we are at Keystone Spring. Actually, more interesting. Watch closely, here comes the drip. Yep, that's all the water that comes out of here. Okay, time to head back to camp. Boy, this video does not do this ride justice. It was so much fun and so bumpy. They were crossing some major boulders. And Monica only got her truck a week ago, already taking it out in this stuff. She is awesome. Look at that. Jason also has a great video of this trip at his Huck Outdoors channel. I'll link it at the end. If you're not already watching him, you should be. And if you are watching him, then you know these guys like to cook. And when we got back to camp, Monica had some excellent stew for us and some really good cornbread as well that they showed me how to bake on the trail, so we're going to do that eventually. Wesley had to take off after dinner, but that was really excellent. He gave me a ride in his Jeep, and we had a really awesome time out there. And in the morning, David made us French toast. Wesley noticed we had what looked like a great sunset directly east. And then the clouds came in, and I thought we might get some rain, but they just circled around us, and we got a great lightning show. Now the sun is in the right place. We're at 5,200 feet, and it's 46 degrees this morning. Pretty nice camp setup. And there are quite a few people in the preserve this weekend. It's the start of the busy season, but other than we saw one other Jeep up in the canyon when we were first here, but they were on their way out, and nobody else here for the whole time we're here. And so we're going to head down to the Ox Ranch next. The road's a little bumpy, but not too much washboard, so you can drive pretty well down it. As usual, I'm getting some drops of rain in this area. I don't know why, but every time we come through here in May or October, it rains a little bit. Very little, just a few drips. It's been relatively cool so far this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, high around 70. The clouds, wind, and elevation are definitely keeping it cooler. But it sure is a beautiful place to be, no matter what the weather. Landfair Valley over here is thick with Joshua trees. And we'll take a quick look around at the Ox Ranch. Just the park is sort of restoring it or preserving it. You can see Tabletop Mesa in the distance. There's the New York Mountains. Keystone Canyon, where we stayed, is up in there. You can see some washed out pieces of road here. And we'll keep making stops along the road south. We're going to have lunch at Hackberry, and then Monica, Jason, and David are going to take off. I'm going to spend the night because one night is just not enough in this park when I've driven this far. They only have a 3-hour drive. It's really nice hanging out with them. I'm going to take a little mountain bike ride around the area here on some very washed out dirt roads. Got to the end of this road, and here's a well, or what was a well at one time. And we'll take a look around the wash a little. I'm calling this one the birthday cake rock. Look at all those colors and layers. Another little well site just above it. Now we'll take a ride in the opposite direction. And here's a functioning well. This is a slightly controversial topic. The well is left over from when this area was used for cattle ranching, but it's being maintained by some sort of wildlife conservation group. Problem is, this is wilderness, so the wildlife should survive off of what's here, not man-made watering holes. And worse, this hole is attracting a burro. I can see burro tracks and burro manures around it. Burros are not native. They destroy the environment here. So, I discussed this with the ranger, and he was really interested to hear that there was burro evidence around it because they might actually take this out. This is not actually helping. Back at camp at the base of the Hackberry Mountains here. Actually only a couple 100 yards from that last well. Getting a nice sunset. And then after dark, I noticed this really bright light coming through the clouds. It did not seem like it was in the right place for the moon. Here's a terrible photograph, but it turns out that was the SpaceX launch. And then at 5 o'clock in the morning, here's nature's alarm clock. I think today's going to be a little bit warmer. We're going to loop back through the park to the northeast side. A few more miles of dirt road to go, and then let's see if we can find a train up there at the BNSF line. I love a nice big freight train. All right, now we'll head over to the Granite Mountains. They've got a new parking area here, and we can take a little walk into the mountains. There's no trails yet. The park probably should make one because there's going to be a lot of social trails if they don't make a clear marked one. Well, for now, we'll just wander in the rocks here. Most of the preserve is without trails, and you can go off trail just about anywhere. But once you have the parking lot set up, the average person is probably only going to walk a very short distance anyway. A little loop would be nice for people, and it would keep people from trampling vegetation and creating all kinds of random trails. And of course, I brought that up with the ranger, and he thought it might be a good idea as well. I'm really happy they added a little roadside pullout. The previous parking was not much or down sandy dirt roads. It's a really neat area. Okay, last stop, back at the old lava field over by Baker. Finally warm, it's 93 degrees. I'm going to sit here a while before I go home. Thanks for coming with me, everybody, and be sure to check out Jason's video as well. See you next time.